25th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
Okay, so I'm just wondering what was happening over there in that pasuk over there. It seems like this what the Zohar is saying is a drush. It's not the pasuk pshat in the pasuk over there in Bamidbar. Okay. So that's the story with that. Okay. And we go to section Dalet, or section D. So Roy, would you like to continue?
A person should rejoice with great happiness when doing a mitzvah. Every mitzvah opportunity he has is a gift sent to him by the Holy One, blessed be he. According to the abundance of his happiness will be his reward. The Arizal revealed that everything which he achieved, that the gates of wisdom and holy inspiration were open to him, was a result of his tremendous rejoicing, which had no limits whenever he performed a mitzvah. It's in Mishnah Berurah. When a person contemplates whose closeness did the King of the world desire, to stand before and serve him and to love him, it is appropriate to rejoice even more than for all of the gold and fine gold in the world. Fortunate is a mortal to whom a great, mighty, and awesome king gave dominion over the works of his hands and placed everything at his disposal in order that this human being should build realms in heaven and provide contentment to his maker for his own benefit and good. In truth, there is no greater good and no greater joy than this. The Tana in Avot 4:17 spoke well when he said, better is 1 hour of Torah and good deeds in this world than the entire life of the world to come.
Oh, that's what we were mentioning yesterday, that the Pele Yoetz said he made two comparisons between Olam Haza and Olam Haba. Where was that? That was but in any case, here the Pele Yoetz mentions one half of it, and he gives now our translator has given a tziyun, a maramakum that we can look it up in. It's in Avos, chapter 4, Mishnah 17. And this Mishnah Berurah, maybe we should look up the Mishnah Berurah over here. This is a Mishnah Berurah on in the halachas of Shmini Atzeres, I believe, and it's talking about Simchas Torah, the simcha that we have for on that day of Simchas Torah that will bring us the whole year to learn Torah b'simcha. And he mentions here the Arizal. So let's look this up as well. This is, if you have a Mishnah Berurah, this will be in Chelik Vav, the last Chelik of Mishnah Berurah, Chelik Vav. And if you want Pirkei Avos, that's also.
Pirkei Avos is 4:17. Mishnah Berurah above. Oh, 669.
Rabbi, you're muted. And Lou and Alan's trying to get in. You're still muted.
Okay.
Oh, and Alan is trying to get in. Can you
Alan's
see?
trying to get in. Okay. I don't see him yet. Okay. This is 6. Oh, so now we have to go back to oh, here now we got
Okay.
okay, so this is Mishnah. This is the Siman in the Shulchan Aruch is Taf Reish Samach Tes. That's the Seder of Yom Simchas Torah.
Hmm.
And this is on page 272 in my edition of the Mishnah Berurah. And mentions over here, the Mishnah Berurah mentions in Sifkat and Yud Aleph, which is going on the Ramah brings everything about the day of Simchas Torah, what we do. We call the last day Kohen Yom Tov Achron Simchas Torah. Lefisha Smechim Ba'osim Bo Sudas Mishta. Legomer Shel Torah. We make a lavish feast for the ones who have finished the Torah, because we're finishing the Chumash. Benogim Shemesayimim HaTorah Maskil Bereshis Nodrim Nedavos Korin Lachem Lasos Mishta. Okay, different. You know what they do on Simchas Torah, and then he concludes the Ramah Ba'kol Mishum Simcha, and this is all on account of the Simcha, the great Simcha of completing the Torah. Mishnah Berurah says over here now, Sifkat and Yud Aleph, Divrei Maskil Mishum Simcha. Mishnah Berurah says, Kosav Marik, M'Shem Reb Hai Gon, Shorsh Tes, Yom Zeh Regilim Etzleinu L'Raked Bo. This day we are dancing on it. Afilu Kama Zekenim, V'Shah Sha'omrim Pelusim La Torah. Even the elders who sing praises of the Torah. And therefore one should exert himself to the utmost of his physical capabilities to dance and to sing for the honor of the Torah. Kamosha Kosov Gabi David Amelech Olav Shalom. And this is what we find the pasuk relates to us by David Amelech. The Fazes Umakarker B'kol ois lifnei Hashem, that when the Aaron was being brought back to Yerushalayim, this is the episode of David dancing with great joy before, it says before Hashem. That's really what Simchas Torah is. It's dancing before Hashem. And then he brings the Arizal. V'kein kosvu b'shem Harizal. The Idu al Arizal. They testify about the Arizal. She'omar, that he said himself. They testify that he himself said the following thing. Shemayla Helyona Shehisig Choloi al Yidei Shehaya Misameach V'chol Ois V'simcha Shel Mitzvah. All of great exalted, lofty Torah insights. The Rizal, of course, is the fountainhead of the modern day understanding of Kabbalah, and many other hidden secrets of the Torah. And how was it that he was zocheh to all of this? He was zocheh to all of this. Hashem gave him. He put these things in his head, and the Arizal attributes that they had the merit that Hashem should give him all of this insight in Torah, because he rejoiced with all of his powers, mental and physical, the simcha shel mitzvah, in rejoicing in performance of a mitzvah. And while we're at it, we'll finish the Mishnah Berurah. The Kain Alagra, and it's also related about the Vilna Gaon. Zatzal. Kosvu Shahaya Maraked Lifnei Sefer Torah B'Kol Koicho. Vilna Gaon. What did he do all day? He learned 22 hours of the day. Alan's coming in. Baruch Hashem. Welcome, Alan. Here he comes. They say about the Vilna Gaon that he had 4 30-minute naps. He didn't want to sleep more than 30 minutes. Good morning, Alan.
Can you hear us?
He's still connecting.
Ah,
You're muted, Alan.
Good morning.
guys,
Good morning,
Good morning,
Alan.
Alan.
good morning.
Good to see
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. Baruch Hashem.
You're muted again, Alan.
So I'm okay now. Jones and Badud. She still has a virus. She spent the night in the hospital last night.
Oh. Well, she should have a refuah shlema.
She still has the virus.
Hmm.
Is she home?
Yeah, she came home this morning.
Baruch Hashem.
She just didn't feel right, but she's still positive.
Right.
Well,
Refuah Shlema, Bezrat Hashem. Hashem should give her a refuah shlema.
why don't you sit down?
And
Alan?
completely.
Sit down. Sit down. And
Relax, Alan. You're among friends.
join us for a while. There's
Okay.
nothing more you can do for the moment, okay? Unless Joan rings the bell.
All right. So
We're on page 20.
page 20. Thank you. There we are. So that's the that was the Arizal. He attributed his great gifts that he received to the fact that he used to do mitzvahs with great rejoicing. He rejoiced greatly when he had the opportunity to do a mitzvah. And then he concludes over here, in truth, there's no greater good and no greater joy than this, that we have the opportunity to do a mitzvah. And the truth is that I realize now that that's what he's describing over here. When he, right? When a person contemplates whose closeness did the King of the world desire to stand before and serve him, to love him, appropriate to rejoice, even more than for all the gold and fine gold of the world. He's fortunate that the great and awesome King gave dominion over the work of his hands and placed everything at his disposal in order that this human being should build realms in heaven and provide contentment to his maker for his own benefit and good. What is that describing? That's describing what happens when a person does a mitzvah. That's what it's all about. And he said, and then he brings the Tana in Avos. We want to see this Mishnah. Better 1 hour of Torah and good deeds in this world than the entire life of the world to come. So when we have an opportunity to do a mitzvah, and especially to learn Torah in this world, it's greater than the whole life of Olam Haba. In what sense is that so? So Lou explained yesterday that was because when we do a mitzvah here in this world, we get tremendous. We get schar. We get schar for the mitzvah that we do. We're building our Olam Haba in that. And the Pele Yoetz says we're even building all the upper realms in heaven, and we're giving great contentment to Hashem that we did this mitzvah. And that's not possible to do when we are in Olam Haba. I just wanted to see what the commentators say on this Mishnah. It's Perik Revi'i, Mishnah Yud Zayin. Hu haya omer yafe sha'achas b'tshuva u'masim tovim ba'olam hazeh b'kol chay olam haba. Okay. We're going to take the Rashi over here. There's a Rashi on all the Maseches Avos. Rashi says, "Mikol Chaye Olam Haba, Shekol Chaye Olam Hazeh Litzorich Kach, Litzorich Kach." Lefi sheba'oso hazman lo yiyeh noheg tshuva u'masim tovim she'en olam haba ela l'shilom schar al ma shekiyem ba'olam hazeh. The whole olam hazeh is just for this, for tshuva and for masim tovim. That's the whole purpose of the Olam Hazeh. The Fishba also has man, because in that time that a person is in Olam Hazeh, lo yeh noeg tshuva. Oh, the Fishba also has man. I guess he's referring to Olam Haba. Oh, 1 second. I didn't read it right. Okay. Shekol Chai Olam Hazeh L'tzorech Kach. The whole Olam Hazeh is for the tzorech of Olam Haba, I think he means. The Fishba also has man, because at that time of Olam Haba, lo yeh noeg tshuva masim tovim. There's no such thing as tshuva and masim tovim in Olam Haba. No such thing. She'ein Olam Haba ela l'shilam sachar al mashet kiyem ba'olam hazeh. The whole Olam Haba is not about tshuva, not about masim tovim, not about mitzvahs. All it is a shilum schar. It's a payment of a reward, amashe mekayem ba'olam hazeh, on what a person fulfilled, the tshuva and the masim tovim, the Torah that he learned in Olam Hazeh. That's the whole Olam Haba. That's the whole Olam Haba, what it's about. So in that sense, the ability to perform mitzvahs, to perform the Ratzon Hashem, that is only Olam Hazeh. What is a mitzvah? What is tshuva? What's masim tovim? It's the Ratzon Hashem. Those and okay, perhaps you could do the Ratzon Hashem in Olam Haba, but it's not the same thing at all. It's not called tshuva. It's not called masim tovim. It's called you are receiving reward for the tshuva and the masim tovim the Torah did in Olam Hazeh. You're just getting, that's what we said. We'll just read the next part of this Mishnah. The next part of this Mishnah describes the first part described the greatness of Olam Hazeh over Olam Haba, and now we're describing in a different aspect, Olam Haba is greater than Olam Hazeh. In what sense? He says, Yafa sha'achas shel koras ruach ba'olam haba mikol chay olam haba hazeh. It's yafa. It's nicer. It's more pleasant. It's more pleasing. Even one moment of the koras ruach, the feeling of the atmosphere and the of Olam Haba, then all of Olam Hazeh. How does he explain this? Says Rashi, Nun Aleph, V'sha akas yafehi la'olam haba l'tzorech kach l'koras ruach hana. That's what the koras ruach is referring to, says Rashi. It's the hana. It's the pleasure. Hana is the pleasure. It's not a physical pleasure. It's a spiritual pleasure. And that hana is yafeh, even one moment of it, mikal chaye olam hazeh, from the mikol koras ruach shel olam hazeh, from all of the entirety of olam hazeh, any koras ruach, any hana, any pleasure, benefit or gain that a person could get out of olam hazeh for his whole life is not worth even one moment of the pleasure of olam haba. V'she'ein bo la'adam koras ruach shlema. interesting what Rashi says over here. Why is this so? Rashi is explaining over here. Because in an olam hazeh, a person does not have koras ruach shlema. He doesn't have a complete satisfaction. He doesn't have a complete nachas in this world. Why? Because the nature of this world, says Rashi, is mipnei tsaros, baros, habos, alav. Because all matter of sorrows, of difficulties, and challenges, and upsetting things, baros, and evil occurrences that occur to a person. Umeyom hamisa shemisyara mimenu, and on top of it all is the Yom Hamisa that he fears. So Olam Hazeh is not a place of relaxation and comfort and enjoyment and satisfaction. It's not meant to be that. It's meant to be a place where we have the ability to do tshuva and learn Torah and amass masim tovim and mitzvahs in order that we get the ultimate satisfaction and goodness and contentment and pleasure in Olam Haba. Okay. Baruch Hashem. So just knowing that that's the way it is, and that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the nature of things, and of course we always say on the hotline that what is the tsaros and the ros habos all these misfortunes and quote unquote evil occurrences that come upon people are really also all chesed and all rachamim and all ava from Hashem. It's soap and shampoo to clean us up, to get us ready to be able to fully enjoy our reward that we're going to receive in Olam Haba. So even though it's difficult and it may take a lot out of us, but it's actually for our ultimate and eternal good and pleasure. So, all right. Now we get to, so we had those letters. We had A, B, C, and D, and now we go to number 4. Number 4 on the very bottom of page 20. We call upon Lu, positive mitzvahs of the Torah.
Positive mitzvahs of the Torah, which depend on the heart, can be fulfilled every day, besides the ones that have already been stated. Included in the mitzvah of the fear of Hashem is that a person not mention any of the names of Hashem except with genuine fear for a great need, and not in vain. The prohibition of mentioning Hashem's name in vain applies to all languages, whether in the form of vain oaths, void oaths, curses, or idle words, or whether one made a blessing that was not needed, shortened, or delayed, these being invalid. Also included in the mitzvah of fearing Hashem is that a person be scared and frightened lest he violate Hashem's will in his presence. A man should tremble and be faint. Shuddering should seize him. How can a small mosquito, who is compared to nothing, anger the exalted and sublime king. So this idea of this fear that a person should be afraid, I don't see anybody doing that. I was in a lecture one time. The rabbi was quoting, I believe it was the Rambam,
Yeah.
who said that when a person is in shul, he should be biyira. Talking about regular when you're in shul for davening with a minyan. So I said, and the rabbi, when he read it, he translated yira as fear. So I asked him, I said, I usually translate yira as awe. And I'm wondering, in this context, when I think of a person should be in awe when he's in shul, I think that a person says, wow, the Shekhinah is here. Wow, I'm in the presence of Hashem. This is amazing. He's in awe.
Yeah.
But that's different from fear.
Yes.
Fear would be
Correct.
if let's say a full-grown lion were to walk in the front door, and a person would turn around and think, that a lion could attack me right now and kill me. He would be in a state of fear.
Right.
So I asked the rabbi, which, when you say fear, which are you talking about? Are you talking about awe? Or are you talking about fear? And he said both. He said you should have both emotions, awe and fear, but real fear, real gut-wrenching terror, fear that a lion is about to attack. I don't see anybody doing that. I don't see anybody in shul who exhibits that emotion at all. I see people smiling and laughing, and I wonder why is it that nobody does this, if that's what the halacha is.
Well, let's not focus on what people do or what people don't do. Let's take that out of the picture. The more important question is, I think, for us, is what does it mean that we have fear of Hashem? And perhaps this might answer why it is that we don't see it so much today. And as you said, there's a difference between awe and a difference between fear. And I was thinking, like you were when we were talking, and I said, what's the difference? And I think there is a very essential difference. And the difference is that a person could be in awe of something, which is, he sees that something is beyond him. He sees that he's very small, and he sees that this mountain is very great and very large, and it's awe-inspiring, right? But can the mountain punish you? Can the mountain do anything to you? Is the mountain in control of you? No. You're not afraid of the mountain. You're not afraid of any consequences of being there, witnessing the mountain. However, when we talk about fear of Hashem, I believe what we mean to refer to is that we are cognizant of the fact that there is schar for a mitzvah and there is onish for an aveira. And we believe that Hashem is in charge, and there's no way that we can escape. If we did aveiras and we did not do tshuva, of course, if we did tshuva, so then we did tshuva. and we won't be called to task for the averas that we did. But otherwise, if we did not do tshuva, we didn't do enough tshuva, there's consequences for our actions. And this is why we have to have fear. Yira is fear. Yira is a different word than nora. Nora is awe. But yira is fear. Yira does not mean awe, it means fear. Nora is awe. Yomim Noroim, the days of awe. And this is something which is very important for a person to realize. And it's actually a very the thing is that people don't like to be in fear of anything, but the truth is that we are in fear we're in fear of many things. We're in fear of Corona. We're in fear of Arabs. We're in fear. We have to admit that there is a lot of fear in our lives. So why isn't there a fear of Hashem and the consequences of doing averas? There should also be a fear like that too. Okay. This is what the Pele Yoetz is referring to over here. When he mentions this idea of yira, he starts mentioning all the different prohibitions that one has to be careful not to violate. Mentioning Hashem's name in vain, vain oath, curses, idle words, making a bracha that was not necessary. And the pasuk says umikdashi tiro, and in my mikdash you should have yira. And today that we don't have a Beis HaMikdash, the Beis HaKnesses is mikdash ma'at. It's a semblance of the Beis HaMikdash, and so that's the place that we also we have this yira. What's the yira of a Beis HaKnesses all about? We realize that Hashem is there. He's in the Beis HaMikdash. The Shekhinah is sure in the Beis HaMikdash, and in the Beis HaKnesses rather. We're in a place where we're in the presence of Hashem. So we should have a bit of yira when we're in the presence of Hashem. Make sure that we do what we're supposed to do. That's the idea of the yira. So if we have that yira, that's a good thing. That's a mitzvah. And in addition to the fact that it's a mitzvah unto itself, but it's also a fence to protect us against willfully or accidentally or negligently violating Hashem's word. Okay. So that's that. And a round of applause for page 20. Wow. Great principles here that we have from the Pele Yoetz. Oh, we're already finished. Okay.
Very good.
All the best to Meir.
Shkayach, everyone should have a good day.
Suras Tovos.
Thank you, Mayor. You too.
Okay.
We'll be back.